Off the heels of the event Uncovered Final Fantasy XV came a small demo aptly titled Platinum Demo Final Fantasy XV. Platinum Demo takes place at an unknown point of time within Final Fantasy XV, inside of the dream of the main protagonist, Noctis, who is unable to awaken until finding his safe place inside his dreamscape. This demo is to serve to fans and newcomers alike who are dying to try Final Fantasy XV, and gives a preview of the controls, combat, and the beautiful Unreal Engine 4's impact on the game. What is shown is hands down an unbelievably gorgeous display of art. The lighting alone is the most impressive, as well as the weather effects presented. The game even allows players to step on switches to change the time of day and weather patterns to drastically change the environment. Each time this happens, jaws will drop. The breathtaking environments really start to spark the imagination of what the end product will look like. Although one major downside is that not everything has the same consistent quality when put next to each other. Textures are somewhat muddy running on the PlayStation 4 on certain objects, which unfortunately creates an uncanny valley. While this is a huge nitpick, the inconsistency in textures should be noted in this kind of demo, as it feels more of a tech demo than an actual game. That's because the demo can be completed in a matter of minutes. This game's theme feels almost like Alice in Wonderland, which could be a nod to Kingdom Hearts. Noctis chases a rabbit-like creature named Carbuncle down hole-like portals that lead into areas that can shrink Noctis to the size of a toy, or take him outside in a deserted town. Throughout these areas, players may find themselves looking for secret stashes of collectible crystals to keep themselves occupied longer, but even trying to do so only clocked my final time to a solid hour, just strictly following where to go around open areas while battling an occasional nightmare enemy, which notably behave like Kingdom Hearts' heartless enemies, isn't exactly asking much of your time. Had it not been for the collectibles, the game would feel painfully barren. Even so, collected crystals only grant the player a few stronger weapons for young Noctis to use. This makes fighting the countless level 1 nightmare enemies faster, even though the enemies really don't show off the combat system or a real challenge. Thankfully, an Iron Giant boss awaits Noctis at the end of his dreamscape, and yes, the boss is literally titled Iron Giant. Either someone really liked the movie, or didn't put much effort into naming this boss. During this fight, Noctis transforms into his current age, changing the combat into what Final Fantasy XV will be presenting this fall. Noctis can teleport to both dodge and attack his foes, giving him complete use of his environment for combat. By throwing his sword into tall structures, Noctis can take a moment to wait and then strike his opponent for a stronger blow. This is in addition to the 2 swords and fire magic at his disposal, which allows for both close-up and ranged attacks. Despite the size of the Iron Giant, disposing of the enemy isn't the hardest to do. Even when in peril, Noctis' health can be recovered considerably in a few moments of not taking damage. This most likely won't be the case once the real game has potions and other items to consume, much like the previous demo included with last year's Final Fantasy Type 0. Compared to that demo, it seemed like a lot of progress had been made up to this point to update the controls and lighting engine. That doesn't mean it's a completed product. The controls in their current state have notable input lag, or sometimes have ignored button presses. This made driving a car frustrating when trying to brake or back up, or even cause issues with being able to finish combos during combat. The frame rate may also be a contributor to this, as frames tend to drop when more objects with complex lighting are on the screen. This game will surely benefit from a PC release down the line if the console version doesn't improve by September 30th. Regardless of the nitpicks, take a peek at the demo yourself and see if Final Fantasy XV is for you. This is by far an amazing example of what the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are capable of, and for Kingdom Hearts fans, This can be an example of how Kingdom Hearts will play on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One whenever Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are finally finished. September 30th can't come any sooner.
ありがとう。バイバイ。